party, bud. Let's party.
Now it's time for Toker Talk Radio, the voice of the marijuana nation.
What are you people? On dope?
Where you can toke.
I inhale frequently.
Or you can talk.
I experimented with marijuana and didn't inhale.
Or you can toke and talk.
10 federal criminal penalties for possession of up to 1 ounce of marijuana.
While we talk about toke on Toker Talk Radio.
So, by the way, when it comes to pot, you know, if you're 40 years old, you live in a log cabin in Oregon, you got 12 giant pot plants in your backyard, have a ball.
Live from beautiful Portland, Oregon at Rolla J Studios.
Hey, this is great. Just not cannabis.
Plus your calls live at 971-533-7111.
They're walking on their pants with their cap on backwards, listening to Enema Man and Snoopy Poop Dog.
What's to keep somebody from getting all potted up on weed and then getting behind the wheel? Gateway theory doesn't work. It's a reality.
Holland, is it real? Don't tease me.
We're locking up people that take a couple of puffs of marijuana, and the next thing you know, they got 10 years.
And now, here's your host, the guru of ganja graphics, the sultan of sativa statistics, and the worst nightmare of a reefer mad prohibitionist. A polite, perspicacious, productive pothead with a propensity for PowerPoint. Radical Russ Belville.
Welcome, everybody. It's time for Toker Talk Radio, where you are the voice of the marijuana nation. Our phone lines are open at 971-533-7111. Joining us in the studio, we got Brian the Red. There he is.
Yeah, I just can't hear anything.
We got to do a headphone adjustment. Say something while I adjust headphones.
La 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 la, blah blah blah. Nope, still nothing.
Is that yours?
No.
Correct.
Cannabis.
Do you have a number on your headphone out there so I can tell which one to turn up or down?
There's no wire on your mic.
It should be listed on the end there.
No.
It's just black?
The numbers all came off.
The numbers all came off?
Yep.
That's no fun. All right, well, I'll turn them down until we find it. How's that one? Is that one the one, Craig? You got these headphones? Nothing?
Nope.
No.
Hello?
You do? All right.
No.
Okay, hold on. Turn up this one. Okay, now we'll turn up that one.
This is exciting radio.
Hello.
Still have no,
Okay, I
had
can.
something now. It's like there's nothing at all.
Hello.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, now we're all happy.
Yay,
So we got
we
Brian
can
the
hear
Red
each
over
other.
here, and we've got Cool Craig over there.
Happy, joy.
Yeah.
Get level on Craig, and then sitting over here, first time guest, and let's see if let's pick you up. We've got Eden. How you doing, Eden?
Craig.
I'm hanging in there.
Hanging in.
Hanging in.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Trying to get some volume for you here so we can hear you. But yeah, we're just hanging out here in Rolla J Studios, beautiful Potland, Oregon. So glad to have you. Oh, that one's not plugged in.
Yeah, that's what was funny. He kept trying to adjust where the mic was. And
There
I said,
you are.
There's no wire on the mic. There's no wire.
They work so much better when they're plugged in.
Yes.
They usually
Yeah.
All right. So anyway,
Good over there.
what's that?
Is she good over here?
Yeah, you can pull that a little closer. That'd be good. But we, just like I said, we just did the right-wing blowhards. What do you think of that?
Oh, I thought it was funny because I read one of those that was reprinted in the Oregonian just the other day, and yeah, I was like, oh, really? A fragmentation of the personality and all this other bullshit? I'm like, yeah, okay, okay, sorry. They're like, well, we grew out of weed. What? You don't grow out of. Sorry, you know it's the endocannabinoid system, you know, to be fully functional and realized, you need to have a consistent cannabinoid level in your body.
Did you happen to see the Daily Show last night, Jon Stewart? He did a 4.5-minute takedown, basically, of these right-wing guys, a lot of them, a lot of clips from Fox. You know, they even had the, what's to stop everyone from getting potted up on weed. Had all of those and ran those clips about how, you know, oh, pot bad. And then backed it up by showing a bunch of clips from their same exact shows, same exact hosts over New Year's, talking about how messed up they were going to get on alcohol and what great drinks they were going to have. It was just beautiful. If you haven't seen that, check that out. I think High Times put a post up on it for that as well. Speaking of High Times, got a pitch sold today for the magazine for an expose article on debunking Kevin Sabet. So that should be out in the June 2014 issue of High Times.
Excellent. Congratulations.
Yeah, looking for that. All right. Before we go much further, though, and not to bum anyone out, but just because we have to deliver the news for people who've arrived late, we've lost a member of our 420 radio family here, Chris Hanley, a.k.a. Stere0typ3, who was one of our moderators, one of our longest-term moderators in the chat room.
He's been with the show for, 7 years? What?
Well, however long we've been doing this.
Yeah, I mean, well,
4 or 5.
Because he was with you with the NORML podcast.
He did. He was at the 2010 NORML conference, so that's at least 3 years, 4 years that we're going on here.
Yeah.
Chris was a resident of Mobile, Alabama, and like I said, frequent visitor in our chat room. He was a moderator. He came out and volunteered for us at numerous 420 radio events. He came out on vacation here just a while ago.
He just recently got to vacation out here. You know, I'm glad he got to see this before he, passed. But
yeah, he was
it's a great loss,
younger than 30. I don't know how old he was, but he was younger than 30. Had medical issues, but we do not know the cause yet, and I'm not asking because it's none of my damn business. But his family, his brother Nate Hanley, has been in contact with me, and we've been chatting on Facebook. He's told me that it was a tragic accident. We just don't know what or why or how. And if they feel like releasing that information and letting us know, I will let you know. So we're dedicating today's Toker Talk Radio to Stere0typ3, and in his memory, keeping up this fight to end adult marijuana prohibition, which I know is something he was fighting very hard for down there in the South, where it's a tough place to fight.
Oh, it definitely is.
You're from the South. You've been there.
From Florida, yeah, too. You'd be surprised, and it's just now getting to the point where my family is actually in favor of it.
Yeah. Exactly. And you're obviously using it for so many medical conditions, too.
Yeah.
But that's what it takes, is just opening minds one by one. And Rio helped to do that by, meeting lots of people. And as newbies would come into our chat room, he would let them know what's going on with our show and answer their questions about marijuana and such. So we'll always remember Stere0typ3. He joins our VIP member, Steve Veteran. And we will always remember both of them. So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll take your calls. If you want to remember Rio by telephone and get yourself recorded on our archives with your remembrances for Stere0typ3, we will take your calls for that. Otherwise, we'll get into some more video. We've got NORML's chairman, Norm Kent, on the Nancy Grace Show, and a look at why marijuana legalization is working in Colorado and what that means for Washington, D.C. politics. Stick around. It's Toker Talk Radio on 420radio.org.
We'll be right back after these messages from our 420 friendly sponsors. Support these advertisers because their ad money goes straight to the Russ Belville Show. You're tuned into the Russ Belville Show, the voice of the marijuana nation.
It's simply business. It's simply business. It's simply business, you know why they won't let us grow. It's simply business. It's simply business, you know why they won't let us grow. It's simply business.
When you are starting up a medical cannabis business, you don't just want any attorney. You want a fired-up lawyer who understands the needs of cannabis consumers. The law office of Lauren Vasquez is your fired-up lawyer for the cannabis industry. Lauren Vasquez knows the details of California marijuana law from both a personal and professional angle. Lauren Vasquez rose from the ranks of college normal activists to become one of the Bay Area's best marijuana lawyers. Visit her website, fireduplawyer.com, or call 1-855-MMJ-LAWS for more information. That's 855-665-5297 for Lauren Vasquez, your fired-up lawyer, or email fireduplawyer@gmail.com. The number again is 855-MMJ-LAWS, 855-665-5297 for your fired-up lawyer, Lauren Vasquez. Lauren Vasquez is an activist attorney you can trust. Call today. 420 Radio is 24-hour marijuana legalization radio. Hey, Tokers and Tokettes, Radical Russ here to introduce you to my friend Matt and all the staff at Lush LED Lighting. Growing plants indoors can be a rewarding hobby, but electricity bills can go through the roof. Then you have to cool down all those big hot lights. It can drive a grower insane. With Lush LED lighting, you can solve many of these issues and double your rewards. If you thought LEDs were meet the tech of today, Matt and his scientists have developed the perfect light for flowering plants with far less cost and heat. And the results? Let's just say I appear at a lot of events with the masters of indoor horticulture, and the harvests I saw from Lush LED lighting were big, tight, sticky, and very effective. Check out LushLEDlighting.com right now and tell them Radical Russ sent you. Double your rewards and lower your expenses with Lush LED lighting. Welcome back, everybody. That's music from King Giant, The Fog. That's the kind of rock that Tere0typ would listen to us with on the Herb Thrasher Flower Hour every Friday at 8 p.m. He used to show up there, too, quite a bit, and always had some great requests. Some of it was some, I just got to call it weird-ass mathcore metal. That's what I liked about the guy, though. It's like, Rio was like unlike any guy I ever knew as far as just, how can you be like in your 20s and be a curmudgeon? He was curmudgeonly, right? He reminded me sometimes of like yeah, you kids, get off my lawn.
Well, you know, he just had this different kind of aspect, you know, to him, you know, different outlook on life. And, you know, I was glad to be able to hang out with him the couple of times that we did. I remember when, you know, I first got to meet him in person, because it's always good meeting our fans in person. I think it's just really cool being out.
One of my favorite things.
Out in the middle of nowhere, and all of a sudden, oh my God, Brian the Red! I'm like, what the fuck? But I mean, he was cool about it. He, you know, met us up at Seattle Hemp Fest, I believe it was, the first time, and you know, came to Dab Central and. Just, you know, hung out, had some dabs.
Wasn't afraid.
We walked around for a little while, and then. You know,
he wasn't afraid. He wasn't afraid to be contradictory.
Yeah.
Or, you know, if he had strong opinions, and if he thought you were full of shit, he'd tell you.
Yep.
And God, that's so refreshing for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I get a lot of people tell me I'm full of shit, but they're haters, right?
Oh,
and
yeah.
This was coming from a guy that I knew liked what I was doing and appreciated the thing. But if he found me in the wrong somewhere, man, he wasn't afraid to call it out. So that's, you know, bold guy that way. So I was told by his brother as well that he was involved in a lot of different causes. Marijuana legalization just be one of them. And there's a lot of other virtual communities that he was a part of that are also hurting today too. So, you know, I like what Herb Thrasher says about this. You know, he does some shows from time to time where we have to memorialize someone. And he says, you know, it's really more about the celebration and understanding that when someone exists and touches your life and is a part of your life, they never really die because they're imprinted. They're imprinted in your psyche. They're imprinted in your brain. And really, does anyone exist? You know, if they're not in front of us, do they even really exist without that imprint? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like
when you get into the I think Descartes was the one who postulated that I am, you know, the things that are real are the things that I can only perceive, you know, and so it's like people, you know, they'll always be real if you can still perceive them inside.
There you go. I mean, for example, my father lives in Nampa, Idaho, and you know, I don't see him right now. And is he alive at this very moment? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But he might not be. And would it make a difference at this very moment? No, I would still remember my father, and all he was and all he is still exists to me in my impression of him. So maybe I just don't get the same feeling of tragedy and sadness. The way I look at it is it's like that person always exists. I just don't get any more new memories.
Yeah, and that for me is one of the things that is so, tragic and sad. This person is not going to be allowed to, continue contributing, and that, that's a sad thing. But we do have to look at the brighter side, at all the communities he did help touch, and all the people who, he talked shit to. I know Ganja John loved that guy,
Yeah.
Okay, they would go at it, but they, it's because they were both, they could both be assholes. And
Ganja, I think, with the right engineering, if you could have put Ganja John and Stere0typ in a room, and harness the energy, friction, just of the friction alone.
They wouldn't even have to say any goddamn thing to each other. They could just be in the same area, and you could harness enough energy to light up 10,000 suns.
Yeah,
but,
no doubt. Good
but
guys.
They were great. I mean, it was. Yeah,
well, always remember your Stere0typ, and like I said, we're dedicating today, the whole day, to Stere0typ, and support for his family and friends who are missing him as well. All right, so I want to get on to some more topics. I was going to go with the Nancy Grace thing with Norm Kent, but I'm afraid I won't have enough time in this short.
We're going to need an entire rant.
We're going to need a little more time for this
one. We'll save that for Friday.
So let me get to one of these stories. I got to find it here in the Toker Talk radio bin, but there was a news story out that I just wanted to comment on that I didn't put in the news, and it had to do with China.
Oh.
Had to do with China. And it says, as cannabis is widely legalized, China cashes in on an unprecedented boom. And it's out of the Times of India, right? And this was the stat that I wanted to throw at you. According to the World Intellectual Property Organization, Chinese firms have filed 309 of the 606 patents relating to cannabis. Mm-hmm. China has more than half of the world's patents.
Well, they've got the laboratories that I think that helped GW Pharmaceuticals. They did some collaborative work.
Yep, they've got Dr. Luc Duchesne from Ottawa wrote, because cannabis in Western medicine is becoming accepted, the predominance of Chinese patents suggests that pharmaceutical sciences are evolving quickly in China, outpacing Western capabilities. Mm-hmm. Chinese traditional medicine is poised to take advantage of a growing trend. The writing is on the wall. Westernized Chinese traditional medicine is coming to a dispensary near you. Yeah, well, this goes back to, the thousands. We know the Emperor Danang, or Shenang, was the one that we have the record of back 5,000 years ago, 2700 BC, that they were using cannabis as medicine. So it's just come full circle, hadn't it?
Isn't it called Ma back then or something?
That's right, Ma.
Yeah.
Thai Ma, great hemp.
Thai Ma, yeah.
And of course, China is, I believe, leading the world in industrial hemp production as well.
Yep. Well, they've got the right area and climate, since the climate's shifting, but
well, for now they have the right climate, right? Only one company in the world has developed cannabis-based drugs as medicine that's recognized by regulators in the West. That would be, of course, GW Pharmaceuticals, who makes Sativex for the treatment of MS and Epidiolex for childhood epilepsy. Now, the Epidiolex, that's their brand name for Alephsia, the high CBD oil. And
they've got their fingers in several other patents too. They've different constituents of cannabinoids that they haven't given names to. They just have numbers. Mm-hmm. There's a big list of them on a couple of websites that I've seen.
I think what I'm happy about in this article is if the Chinese can have a more holistic herbal traditional medicine approach, and that elements of that will infect the Western medicine. Not that Chinese needs to be Westernized. Western needs to be Chineseized in, well, hard to pun. That's not meant in any racist way. Sorry. Chineseized. Oh my God. But anyway, you know what I'm saying is we need to get this, like we were talking with Dr. Bierman in hour one, this reticence of clinicians to want to engage in herbal remedies. Because to them, that's like, well, no set dosage, no set purity.
Well, there's so many herbal remedy pill things that I've seen, herbal supplements that come over from there already, and they're in little bottles that I'm wondering what one of their natural ingredients might be. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Nosy.
Right.
That could be.
Right.
So, yeah, we'll keep an eye on Shiny here as this continues. But right now, it's 4:20 here in the Pacific time zone. Yay! 4:20 on the West Coast. So we've got Brian the Red here, Cool Craig, and Eden hanging out over there. We're going to up our nanograms, so you know what to do.
Oh, have you ever met that funny reefer man? A reefer man. Have you ever met that funny reefer man? A reefer man. If he said he swam to China, he would sell you South Carolina. Then you know you're talking to that reefer man.
I'm Radical Russ Belville, and I want to thank you for listening to 420 Radio. We couldn't survive without you and our sponsors, and I'd like you to check out one of our prime sponsors, the National Cannabis Coalition. I've been working with NCC since June of 2012, and I'm proud to be part of the team they have assembled. National Cannabis Coalition is building the partnerships with reformers, lawmakers, and industry we need to be successful. Visit the National Cannabis Coalition website at nationalcannabiscoalition.com or the easier-to-remember ncc420.com. That's where you'll get the exclusive first look at my radical rants, as well as informative articles from the nation's top cannabis pundits. Visit ncc420.com today, and if you have your phone handy, text Russ to 420-420 to support NCC and 420 Radio. It's a free text message that helps us help you end adult marijuana prohibition. Learn more at ncc420.com, and thanks for supporting independent marijuana legalization public radio. You know Herb Thrasher from the Herb Thrasher Flower Hour. Now get ready for Herb Age Designs for the proud cannabis consumer. Herb Age Designs, lifestyle gear for the 420 friendly. Herb Age Designs, home of the famous lighter leash. Herb Age Designs. Get your Herb Age t-shirts and hoodies and show your pride. Herb Age Designs. We've got Frisbee golf discs and durable hemp gear. Herb Age Designs. We've got shot glasses, drinking glasses, coffee mugs, and beer cozies. Check us out on Facebook and online at herbagedesigns.com. And follow Herb Age and Herb Thrasher on Twitter. We'll see you at this year's Hemp Fest. Crank it up. Electric Bob's Boogaloo with Electric Bob from Scottsdale, Arizona, every Tuesday morning at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern, and 3 p.m. GMT, right here on 420radio.org.
Days, and it's getting harder to explain how I've been and what I'm up to. Why can't people stay the same? I don't want to change. It's getting cold again and there's pain.
Welcome back, everybody. 23 after the hour. That's music from Green Sky Bluegrass with Don't Lie. We got Ryan the Red. We got Cool Craig. And we got Eden hanging out in studio. I promised you some Nancy Grace. So, make sure you have your favorite anti-emetic handy.
Oh, are we really going to go there? I thought we were going to save this for F-Bomb Friday.
No, we're going to it today, man. I can't wait.
Bring it on.
I'm primed for this. Okay, so here we go. A little Nancy Grace. And I love the title of this. Nancy debates pot users on their high horse.
Oh, my side, Nancy, stop.
All right, here we go.
Stop.
Let's check this out.
Well, Colorado has run out of pot. There's been such a high demand because I guess the Colorado legislature, they're all high. They've got to be high on pot because they legalized marijuana in the state of Colorado, and in about 28 hours, they ran out of pot. We are taking your calls, but first, I want to go back to Norm Kent, the president of the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws, and also with me, Brad Lamb, addiction specialist. Let's see both gentlemen at once, Liz. Brad Lamb is the founder of Breathe Life Healing Center and an author of multiple books. All right, Mr. Kent, I'm going to ask you a different question this time. See what I can get out of you. What do you make of the fact that marijuana is extremely addictive?
That is absolute nonsense. I can't believe you're disseminating such a lie to the American public. You know, Nancy, you're such an ardent advocate for victims' rights. Why not speak up for all those people for the past 4 decades, hundreds of thousands, millions of Americans that have been wrongfully arrested, unjustly prosecuted, illegally jailed, denied scholarships, all because they chose to smoke a joint or use cannabis responsibly. What a shame that you've been an advocate.
That's right.
Yeah, go Kent.
Let me just pause here.
Well
That's
said.
what we're looking for from NORML.
That's what the kind of response we like to hear when they come at us with their BS train.
Beautiful, Norm. Let's continue.
Actually,
unjustly
I just
prosecuting
asked
somebody
you
for so long.
what you make of marijuana being addicted.
It
Okay,
is
that
not.
was the only
I'm sorry,
question.
Mr. I'm sorry the
Okay,
other guest
let's
has a
go
problem,
to Brad.
but
Ooh,
marijuana
I think
is
I
not
hear
addictive.
something still in my ear. Ooh, to
No, but look,
Brad
here's
Lamb.
the thing.
Brad, let's hear your
This fellow
response.
has all this crafted outrage to your question, Nancy. I want to know, like, what is he getting from this? What is your salary? Are you a lobbyist? Are you a pot addict? What really is
Are you a
your
lobbyist?
reason
I am a
to
responsible
fight for the right to
cannabis
smoke pot?
consumer, and I do not apologize for
Fair
it.
enough.
I am an
But that doesn't
advocate
take
for
away from the
national
truth
legalization
that
reform.
pot
Norm,
is
are
addictive
you a
and pot
lobbyist?
hurts a lot
Are
of
you
people.
a lobbyist,
No, I am
Norm?
not. No, I am not. I am an activist who was a cancer survivor that used cannabis to fight the effects of chemotherapy, and like many of my friends and clients, have used it responsibly for decades.
Okay, whoa,
and I do not apologize for it at
whoa.
all.
The cow's out of the barn. Let's go back to Brad. Just like I mentioned earlier, whenever I ask a pothead, why do you want pot
use the
legalized?
word pothead.
They start talking. I was not referring to you. They start talking about medicinal marijuana, but that's not what we're talking about. It is addictive, Brad.
I think it's heartbreaking that we're sitting here having the conversation about passionate people fighting for the right to help people stay sick. I'm all for medicinal marijuana, and I actually am against a lot of the prohibition that's putting people in jail instead of helping them get treatment. But pot is addictive. A lot of people's lives are ruined because of it, and to say that it's not is just a lie.
Well, here's another
to say
question,
that pot
and I'm
is
going to.
addictive is so
Norm,
wrong.
we're
I can't
moving
believe you
on.
said do.
We're moving on to another question. Here's my question, Norm. According to the Department of Health, 39%, that's nearly 40% of drug-related emergency calls have to do with pot.
You know, Nancy, that's not true. I don't know where you got that
That's not
fact or
true either.
statistic from.
All right. Let me help here with the statistic, Nancy. What she's referring to is statistics from the Drug Abuse Warning Network, DAWN. And what these statistics track is when someone comes in, they track if they had any involvement with a drug or alcohol at the time of admittance. So you're on the ski slopes, right? You were skiing all day, you had a great day, you go that night into the lodge, you smoke a joint with some friends, and then that next day when you're coming down off the hill, you get into a car wreck and you're admitted into the emergency room, and they do a little blood test on you and they find there's THC in your system. Bing! That's a marijuana-related emergency room visit. Let's say you're hanging around, you've got you're a woman who's got an abusive spouse, beat you up, you go to the emergency room and you got beat up, they do a test, they find that you're a pot smoker. Marijuana-related emergency room visit. So it's a true statistic in that when you find a bunch of people in an emergency room and you find out how many of them smoke pot, there's like 40% of them, but it's only true because that many people smoke pot. That's how detectable it is. That's the only reason that has any semblance of truth whatsoever. You want to talk about the addictiveness of marijuana, Nancy Grace, I will be glad to grant to you that marijuana is addictive as coffee.
Yeah.
That's just how addictive marijuana is. And I'm not the one saying that. That's Jackie Henningfield from the New York Times from 1994, working off of questionnaires that he gave to many, many addiction specialists, asking them to rank on a scale of 1 to 6, with 1 being the least harmful and 6 being the most harmful, 5 different categories that had to do with addiction, tolerance, withdrawal, so on. And then of the drugs that were looked at, they looked at alcohol, nicotine, heroin, cocaine, caffeine, and cannabis. And they found of all those drugs in all 5 categories, ranked from first to worst, they found cannabis was the least harmful in 3 of the categories, the second least harmful in 1 of the categories, and the third least harmful in the last category, which was intoxication. The only drug of the 6 to rank so low in overall points was caffeine. So yes, I will grant to you that marijuana is addictive. When you'll give up your coffee, I'll give up my pot.
The U.S. Department of Health.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. I'd like to
Nancy.
know. I'd like to know whether or not those people. You know, there are people that go to the emergency room. No, they go to the emergency room because they were in car accidents, but we didn't abandon the thought of having vehicles in our society, even though 50,000 people are killed a year in a car.
You're not even
they have
making any
to drive
sense. You're talking out of your head now.
No,
jump
I
in,
am
Brad.
talking logically and intelligently.
Well, the trouble with pot is, if it's no big deal for you, it's no big deal. And then what about for the hundreds of thousands of people whose lives are terribly upset, or completely ruined, are completely thrown off track because of their relationship with pot, Norm? So for you to stand and advocate
people like
or
you
sit
make
and
bad
advocate
choices
that
all
it's
the
no
time.
big
That
deal.
doesn't mean everybody else should have their freedoms restricted.
No, but I will
because
tell
5%
you
of the population.
Okay, guys, Brad Lamb, I always I get very suspicious when people refuse to answer a question outright. Questions that are very, very simple and
here's a simple question.
Jump on another.
Here's a simple question, Nancy Grace. When did you stop beating your kids? Yeah. When did you stop beating your kids, Nancy Grace? It's a simple question. Why don't you answer it? When did you stop beating your kids? See, this is the kind of question that Nancy Grace is very fond of setting up, these impossible questions where you're damned if you answer it one way, damned if you answer it the other way, or even by answering it, you end up acknowledging a falsehood that does not exist, like marijuana is highly addictive. Oh my God. Well done, Norm Kent. I got to give you kudos on the appearance. That was fantastic. That's the kind of stuff we're looking at from NORML. That's what we want to see. That's what we want to hear. Standing up for our rights and not letting these people talk over us. Yeah. I mean, we're winning. The American public agrees with us.
Yeah.
They're the wackos. That's what everyone who goes on a talk show from now on to debate marijuana needs to go in as the champion, as the home field advantage.
Yeah, they are, coming to us, well, not me specifically, but they're coming to, our community to get us in public view, and we need to stand up and represent like we should, as winners. Because we did win 2 states already.
That's right.
Full legalization, to a point. But seriously.
We got a call coming in. This is Electric Bob on the line. How you doing, Bob?
Bob. I'm doing great. That Nancy Grace thing just makes my blood boil.
It's amazing, isn't it? It's the willful ignorance.
Makes me want to go work out on Russ's bag. Oh, this guy hanging in the other room.
Nancy Grace isn't ignorant. She's just using that all for view bait.
Of
That's
course,
all that is.
Yeah, of course it is. That's why I don't know how many. Does anybody? You might remember, Craig. Do you remember Morton Downey Jr.?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you remember Morton Downey Jr.? That was way back in the day. He was one of the first guys to be the Jerry Springer type guy.
Always smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, always smoking a cigarette. Shit. So that's who she reminds me of a little, Morton Downey Jr.
I've never watched her show, but I can't believe that she's that thin. Who'd watch somebody that's...
Well, she was so... The part to me is like, we're talking here. Like, she was like one of those.
And she started out as like, hey, can I get us in a 3-shot? It's like, make sure we get them both in the screen so we can see what a pothead looks like and see what a straight person looks like.
Sorry, go on, Bob.
I just wanted to call to remind everyone to listen at 10 for my premiere episode.
Yeah,
that's right. Electric Bob's Boogaloo's coming up 10 o'clock tonight.
And an hour after the live Red Eyes Reggae flashback.
Yeah, so you can get some reggae at 8. You get the replay of our first hour at 9, and then you get the Electric
Bob's Boogaloo premiere
right there at 10.
It's deep house, hard house, deep trance mix. You played a song like about an hour ago that sounded like the music I'm getting ready to play tonight.
Excellent.
But I don't even remember what it was.
Is this what would be the recommended marijuana varietal for this show?
Smoke some nice sativa.
Yeah,
Nice
yeah,
sativa for
get
this
you
one.
up and dancing.
There you go.
Up and dancing music. All right. Well, we'll be listening here for sure.
Cool. You guys take it easy.
All right. Take it easy. Thanks for the show, Bob. And yeah, we've got a great new lineup that you can check up at 420radio.org/guide. 36 shows that are on this network. So
wow,
there'll be something there you like, and from all different places in the country. I mean, New Mexico to Michigan.
And they replay at all different times, too, so it doesn't really matter when you're up. You know?
That's right.
And then also we've got our archives on our main site there. You just go to each show's page and look up old episodes.
Yeah. Do it today. Visit the site.
And if you become a VIP member for just as little as $10 a month, you can get access to specific content that's only available. Hush, hush, shh, VIP only.
And that would be replays of this show.
Yeah, like
you can only get replays of Toker Talk Radio online as a VIP member.
Yeah, so if you're watching this on a replay, thank you.
Thank you
you're
so
a
much.
VIP member. Yeah,
all right, we got to take a break here, and when we come back, we're going to talk about why marijuana legalization is working in Colorado and how that should inform the politicians in Washington, D.C. You're listening to Toker Talk Radio on 420radio.org.
We'll be right back after these messages from our 420 friendly sponsors. Support these advertisers because their ad money goes straight to the Russ Belville Show. You're tuned into the Russ Belville Show, the voice of the marijuana nation.
Adam Hand of Handmade Apparel produces quality custom designs for t-shirts, hats, and other apparel. Handmade Apparel is the official design shop for 420 Radio, The Russ Belville Show, Ganja John, and Cascadia Concentrates, among many clients who rely on Adam Hand for everything from short-run custom projects to full-run clothing lines. Adam's meticulous designs are individually crafted and screened in vibrant, high-definition color. Visit handmadeapparel.biz to browse the selection of handmade gear or to get a personal quote for your own designs. Handmade Apparel, a proud supporter of 420radio.org.
Let 'em bring in the beat.
Support the Russ Belville Show. Text the word Russ to 420-420 and connect with the National Cannabis Coalition. You can also send $10 to the Russ Belville Show right from your smartphone. That's Russ to 420-420.
In the afternoon, if I'm home, I smoke marijuana.
You're listening to Radical Russ on the Russ Belville Show.
Oh, marijuana. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I got my ganja.
420 Radio, the activist radio station.
Hey, this is Willie Nelson for NORML. And if you're one of the 26 million Americans who smoked marijuana last year, you need to get involved in the drive to legalize marijuana. We need your help to stop the senseless arrest of more than 800,000 Americans each year on marijuana charges. Together, we can end marijuana prohibition and stop the arrests of marijuana smokers. To learn what you can do to help, contact NORML at NORML.org or call toll-free 888-67-NORML.
Welcome back, everybody. Toker Talk Radio. It's just about 40 after the hour, and lest you think all we do during break is just like smoke weed and get high, I would like to inform you
that we discuss smoking weed and getting high.
Well, yeah, but we are very involved in the scientific pursuit of upping our nanograms.
Yes, you know, there is a very subtle science to this. And
so we would like to propose. We would like to propose to the bureaus the standards of weights and measures here in the United States. Now, this won't work. This doesn't work for the metric folks. This doesn't work for the guys, out there in Europe, the Frenchy French and all that are going to have grams.
If you spell color with a U, you're out of luck.
That's right. You color with a U, you're out of luck. But they're into the grams and the milligrams and the centigrams and all. You already got yours.
Yeah.
This is what we propose, for the English system.
Well, American
English system to be added. Yeah, we're not going to do British imperial dabs.
We're going to have 3 dabs, and then we're going to have a dab.
Yes, no. So here's the thing. We are proposing a standard of weights and measures for dabs.
Well, I think that this has actually already been discussed at it was either one of the secret cups or one of the other oil competitions. So this is already pretty
been established.
I'm pretty sure this was established already.
We may not have thought of this. We may have heard it when we were high, but the point is
Don't quote us.
The point is still the same, that we're trying to make sure the cannabis community has some sort of uniform standard of weights and measures with respect to dabs, because you get a lot of newbies coming in here and you ask them,
concentrates, dabs.
Yeah, you get these newbies coming in here and they're or people that are pot smokers that haven't done concentrate, and it's like, well, how much do you want? Well, I don't know. I guess I smoke a lot of pot, so give me a big one. Right? No, you don't want to do that. So here it is. It's a base 3 system, kind of like teaspoons and tablespoons, right? And the smallest unit of measurement is a dib.
Yes.
And a dib is the smallest bit that you can get on the thing.
Yeah, a little tiny thing you can get on your dab tool.
It's like, the equivalent of a molecule of dab, but of course it's much bigger.
Maybe I can demonstrate.
Yeah, the littlest bit you can get, that's just a dib, right? Then 3 dibs make up a dab, right? And then for the hardcore, 3 dabs make up a glob.
So that would probably be.
There we go.
Little tiny bit there.
All right, so a dib.
That's a dib.
And then we would have a dab. 3 dibs is a dab. 3 dabs is a glob. And now I've just been informed that 3 globs is a slab.
So there's a dab.
There's a dab. 3 dibs.
3 dibs, right?
So we'll have dib is the smallest unit. 3 dibs is a dab. 3 dabs is a glob. 3 globs is a slab. So it's dib, dab, glob, slab.
Actually, you might need a little more for some people to qualify it as a slab, because I think the slab depends on the weight. I think that if it's over a half gram, it's a slab. But
I encourage all research into
a glob.
This. I encourage research into this.
That's a Brian
dib, dab,
size.
glob, slab. I'm a big fan because I'm a nerd. Let's go to our phone lines. We got a call coming in here from the 702 area code. You're on the air with Toker Talk Radio. What's up?
You know what's up? I'm fucking tough, man. We're tough.
Is this Pony Boy?
Man, this is Pony Boy.
Los Marihuanos!
What's up, my nugget?
My nugget. I'm feeling wonderful, my nugget.
Yes, my nugget. How you doing, brother?
Hey, man, I'm doing good. Look at, man. Hey, man, you guys are doing the do, my nuggets. I'm over here smoking and listening to the show. I'm over here with Bong Hitter and them on, I got a new show with on www.pubtub.tv with Bong Hitter, man, and we support you guys. Man, I can't wait to see you guys again, man, but I just want to, really quick, I want to ask you, man, what do you think's going to happen about this year's Hemp Fest, man?
About what?
There's nowhere to throw the Hemp Fest.
Oh, they're kicking Hemp Fest out? You mean Hemp Stock?
Hemp Stock.
Portland Hemp Stock.
Yeah, we just heard.
The Hemp Stock. No, not the Hemp Fest. Hemp Fest is in there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the Hemp Stock.
Yeah, see, it's the Portland Hemp Stock, and, we started it. You remember when we first did it, it was down there by the river, downtown, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, you guys, if it wasn't for you guys watching us perform in Seattle for the Seattle Hemp Fest, and I remember coming down the stage, and you, Mel, and a whole bunch of Paul Stanford, all you guys were there. and asked us to perform at that. Now we're not going to be, if the fest keeps on going on, we are now going to be 10-year Hempstock players, man. Thanks to you guys, Russ.
Well,
Isn't that crazy?
Hey, man, it's amazing. It's been 10 years coming to think of it. That is quite amazing. But yeah, we did it like downtown by the river where all the people would come by, and then we had that for like 2 years, 3 years, and then had to go off to one place off of Selwood for a year, and then we ended up at that Kelly Point Park. You been at that one way the hell out of town?
Yeah, man, he plays every year. I see my nugget every year.
Well, Paul was trying to get it back downtown, and that's what the Portland City Council's come out this week and said, hell no, fuck no, it ain't happening.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, it ain't happening. Okay, Beer Fest is okay to have downtown.
Right.
But
yeah,
not good enough.
You know the lawyers are all over this one.
We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it someplace real good. Being on the Hempstock vendor crew, I know we're gonna lock down a great place, no matter what the hell the city thinks. Last year they tried not to. The stupid cops were trying not to sign our permit until the day we were setting up. So, fuck them.
Yeah, fuck that shit. That's such bad news, knowing that we have never, in the 9 years that Los Marihuanos have performed there, there's never been an incident of a fight, brawl, anything like that. I swear to you, man, it's always been good. It's never, it's just messed up, man. And I'm hoping, if I know Paul Stanford right, he's not going to take this laying down. And like I said, we got, he's got our support and everything, man. Like I said, man, I remember, Russ, it was like yesterday, dude. Wow.
I know.
LK still has
and hanging out backstage with Eddie Lepp, you remember?
Bro, LK has sent me pictures, dude, of all of us, Russ, me, you, your ex-wife, me, just all of us, bro. We were like, fuck, it was like such a good time. And I'm not saying when it really mattered, but man, that was the beginning for us, man.
Right on.
The Seattle Hemp Fest, and look where we're at right now, man, and we're still going. So, man, we got Paul Stanford and you guys back for sure on this situation. Hopefully everything goes well, man.
Right on. And tell folks again about Puff Tough TV, because our buddy Bong Hitter, who does a lot of our Bong Hitter's one of our moderators and one of our tech support guys, has done. He's the one who's responsible for getting us up on Shoutcast and getting all the radio distribution we needed. So I know you guys are working on this Puff Tough TV. Tell them about it.
Well, the Puff Tough TV is basically us. It's like kind of I would say like a man cow, kind of Howard Stern type stuff, but more potted stuff, more entertainment, more jokes and everything. Nothing like I would say I'm copying off you guys, but you guys got a good standard in the way you guys do everything. And of course, I'm going to try to live up to your guys' shit. But our show is just a little bit different, more joking, more characters on the stuff, but definitely always setting the standards and setting trends and stuff, but at the same time, still spreading the message of free the weed and that Los Marihuanos are messengers of Jack Hare to spread the gospel that hemp saved the world, my nugget.
That's right, my nugget. And hey, speaking of Los Marihuanos, what do we got for tunes, man? You got some new discs coming out soon?
I sure do. I got some new music, and I will send it to you guys ASAP of the new Dank Defenders album and the new album called The Real Kings of Hemp Hop.
Awesome, man. I'm looking forward to that. Well, have fun on Puff Tough TV, and I know you'll be puffing tough. After all, you do have the flame that killed John Wayne.
Yeah.
That's right, my nuggets. Hey, you guys support Russ, the 420, the whole 420 show, man. God bless you guys, and we'll see you soon, okay? You guys,
all right.
Thank you.
Take it easy, man.
Thank you.
Big up, brother.
Awesome. That's Pony Boy from Los Marihuanos out in Las Vegas.
Yeah, man. Good guy.
That's hell to think it's, 10 years?
See, because I was trying to remind you how long it's been, and the last 2 years has really just kind of flown by since we've been doing it independent.
Yeah.
It takes a second to remember,
I don't know that I've ever done anything. Okay, the only other thing in my life I've ever done for 10 years in a row was play music professionally.
Ah.
That's it. So, yeah, this is...
Hey, wait, I've done something for more than 10 years in a row.
What?
Smoke weed.
Oh! You got him. All right.
Okay.
Well, speaking of that, I think it's about time that we take an important safety meeting break because things are getting a little dangerous here in the studio.
I'm going to flame on from my nugget pony boy.
Yeah, we're in the last segment. I guess we can dab in the last segment. That's the rule. Eden says, hell yeah, let's do it. All right, you're listening to Toker Talk Radio. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back after these messages from our 420 friendly sponsors. Support these advertisers because their ad money goes straight to the Russ Belville Show. You're tuned into the Russ Belville Show, the voice of the marijuana nation.
This is Radical Russ encouraging you to take a look at the Weed Blog every day. Johnny Green and the staff at the Weed Blog are on top of all the latest developments in the fight to end marijuana prohibition nationwide. You can even get the Weed Blog on your smartphone by installing the Weed Blog app for iPhone and Android. If it's about weed, it's on the Weed Blog, including my original writing. So don't delay. Read the Weed Blog today. Drug Truth Network, Century of Lies with Dean Becker from Houston, Texas. Every Monday at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern, and 3 p.m. GMT, right here on 420radio.org.
Ever wonder how often to change your bong water? The most effective method for baking pot brownies? The best destinations for a ganja getaway? How to hide herb in your car? Whether to grow your own? How precisely to legalize it? Or how something as wonderful as marijuana ever got to be illegal in the first place? Finally, you can find all these answers and much more in the official High Times Pot Smoker's Handbook, featuring 420 things to do when you're stoned. Since 1974, High Times magazine has covered marijuana in all its aspects and wonders, from cultivation to legalization to the herb's enduring and exalted place in popular culture. Packed with inside information, the official High Times Pot Smoker's Handbook rolls all of this collected wisdom together into a single indispensable ganja guide, including an entertaining look at marijuana's history, profiles of herb-friendly travel destinations and festivals, favorite potluck recipes from the High Times staff, smoking skills, advocacy and activism, essential marijuana movies and songs, profiles of famous cannabis strains, comprehensive growing information, celebrity endorsements, and much more. This is truly, finally, the ultimate guide to green living.
Day, I sit and smoke and wonder where the time goes all the time. I'll go down with you to get some brew, but then get slicker so we get drunk quicker. Much of my day is just like yours, but with weed and beer, LSD and whores. And I'll be running and gunning all the time if I ever make it out of this place alive. It's a once-in-a-century thing.
That's the Dixon Chicks, not the Dixie Chicks. The Dixon Chicks with Jack Harrer. It's 52 after the hour, 53 after the hour. Left Wing Larry has made his way down into the studio as well. Oh, Left Wing Larry heard us talking about globs. He's like, I ain't going to miss this. Oh, we're having such a good time here in the studio. Thank you, Eden, for coming out, by the way.
I know, it's been awesome. Great to meet everybody.
Yeah, I know. Oh, there's a blowtorch. I guess like, what's the hell? What's wrong with my board?
Those torches are loud.
But yeah, the I just happened to be upstairs when your cab driver came. Dab's right in front of you. There you go. I just happened to come into the. I was upstairs when the cab came by that dropped her off. Eden's just a fan of the show. She's a medical user of cannabis with visual impairment and I don't know what else, but it doesn't matter. She's a friend and she's a fan, and we're glad you're here.
That's awesome to be here.
Yeah. And so I was just coming upstairs, and there was this large man walking across my lawn, like who the hell are you, and what are you doing on my property? And so I opened the front door, and he goes, I knock on the side door to bring your friend here, but nobody answered. And I'm like, oh yeah, Eden. Jeez, I forgot. So lucky for you, I was upstairs making a sandwich, man.
I know, right?
She'd have been outside in the rain, just standing there with her cane. Come on, man, let me in.
What's wrong with you?
Invite me to your studio and then leave me out here in the cold. Oh, yes. So we're having some fun. Thank you for joining us. So glad you could be here. And so glad all of you could be here to join us on Toker Talk Radio. We have so much planned for this upcoming new year. We're going to be doing so many events, probably a big event every month. At the end of this month, I'll be at the Oregon Medical Marijuana Business Conference, delivering a few of my presentations. In February, there is the Medical Cannabis Cup in San Bernardino. Yes, the San Bernardino Cup will be in February. So we'll be down there covering that as well. Let's see. We've got in March. The Saturday, the 15th and 16th was going to be of February, the second weekend of February, was going to be the United States Virgin Islands Hemp Fest that I might have been going to. Virgin Islands in February, anyone? But it looks like it's going to be postponed a bit. We're going to have Linda Adler on the show. She's with USVI NORML. She's going to be on a couple Fridays from now, like the 17th. So she'll tell us the latest on what's going on with USVI. Looking forward to March. Of course, March we will have in, I believe, Atlanta, Georgia at the King Center. The Peachtree NORML is going to hold a Southern Reform Conference again, so we'll be down there for that in March. In April, we will have 420, and that will be the Denver Cannabis Cup for High Times that we'll be bringing you. In May, at the end of May, the Aspen Legal Seminar up in Aspen, Colorado.
Well, lest we forget the beginning of May, the Global Cannabis March.
Beginning of May, Global Cannabis March. End of May, the Aspen Legal Seminar. Beginning of June, I just got the dates for this from the guys out at DFW NORML. The Texas Regional NORML Conference in Fort Worth, Texas. We'll be bringing that to you in June. In July, there's something. I just don't quite recall what it is yet. I know there's something. Oh, also in June. No, beginning of June. Oh, crap. I hope the Texas Regional Conference isn't going to be the same weekend as the High Times Cannabis Cup in Richmond, the Northern California Cup. But I think that'll be.
Have to send me somewhere.
I think that'll be up in the second weekend. So we'll see about that. There's another gig in July. I forget what it is. In August, of course, we got the Seattle Hemp Fest that we'll be bringing you coverage from. In September, the Portland Hemp Stock, wherever it ends up being. The Boston Freedom Rally out in Boston, Massachusetts. In October, I'm hoping to get to the Madison one, the Great Midwest Harvest Fest. Halloween. We've got so much coming. And then, of course, you got November and December, Oregon Medical Cannabis Awards, another cup somewhere, Seattle in September. So much that we're bringing here on 420 Radio. And I know as I've done these events in the past, it's been really difficult as far as getting any sort of reception. Folks, I can't tell you a lot about what's developing, but I can give you a little hint. I might have something that's called a broadcast backpack that uses 7 different air cards for 7 different wireless carriers that bands them all together for one big broadband experience. It's used by like the major networks, ABC, NBC, all that kind of stuff. So we might be able to bring you much better live coverage of these events in the coming weeks.
Quality.
Now, we could use your help doing it. You could become a VIP member of 420radio.org. Just go to 420radio.org, click on the VIP button up there in the control panel, and just make a monthly donation. It's so simple. It's PayPal, comes out. You won't even miss it. $10 a month. It's not a lot for you, but it could be a whole lot to help us. And maybe it is a lot for you. I should apologize for that. I know a lot of people on fixed incomes and such.
Well,
but
it's a lot for me.
If you can't give, then spread the word. Let's just say that. It's free to talk, right?
Yeah.
Tell people you know about 420 Radio and make them give $10 a month. There you go.
I'm good at that.
That's what we'll do. Eden's on it.
Talk to all your rich neighbors and friends. Tell them 420 Radio is the way to go. No, I'm just kidding.
That's
But
what we
still,
want.
You know, yeah.
And if you can't do a monthly commitment, there is a one-time donation you can do on the same page. So if you go to the VIP page, there's a little donate button. You can put $4.20 in there. You can put $1 in there. Whatever, man. If you can help out, help out. And we will continue to dedicate our weekdays to researching and reading and writing and recording and bringing you all of this information. And all the volunteers also who help out with this show. Let's get some more money in here so they can go on more of these gigs. I need help, trust me.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's all the time we got here for Toker Talk Radio. Hour 2 is over. Thanks for joining us. If you missed any of it, the replays start at 6 o'clock for the first hour and 7 o'clock for the second hour. That's Pacific time. Coming up next, Free weed!
Free weed!
Free weed!
Danny
Danko from High Times is up with free weed. Great grow tips. Stay tuned for that. And then at 8 o'clock, we got Red Eyes Reggae Flashback live with Red Eyes here bringing you reggae tracks. And at 10 o'clock, we got Electric Bob's Boogaloo with trance music tonight. So you want to check it out. It's the premiere episode. That's it. We got to go. For Brian the Red and Eden and Cool Craig and Left Wing Larry, I'm Radical Russ. Thanks for joining us. And until next time, take care of each other, Tokers.
This is the Russ Belville Show. The Russ Belville Show is blogging and podcasting daily at radicalruss.com.
You take a seed, you plant it, you grow it, you dry it, you roll it, you smoke it. You take a seed, you plant it, you grow it, you dry it, you roll it.